Richard, do you want to do the honors? Mike salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
America,
America, to the republic
republic,
which stands
one
one nation,
nation,
under
under God,
indivisible, with justice for all. Thank you.
All right. Good, Barb.
Hey.
Hey, Barb.
Hi.
And now we can go along with our oath for our new board member. Ooh, Richard.
all right.
So do we have the oath available?
Page 2 of your agenda. Page
I'm not the
4.
one who thinks it, so.
Page that down.
So I will read this off. Recently elected and appointed board members must take an oath of office before assuming the duties of office. Example oaths must be a. I assume this is our oath. This one we can.
I, Richard Vandervelden, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and the laws of the state of Oregon, and the policies of Douglas ESD during my term. I will faithfully and impartially discharge the responsibilities of the office to the best of my abilities. Had a similar oath about 6 different times. I had to give every 4 to 6 years, for decades.
All right, election of officers for the 25-26 school year. We only have 4, so that means the people who aren't here should have voted, as I understand.
I'm here. I was sweating because I was at my daughter's and I looked at my watch and it's like, I gotta go.
All right, well, I've been at this for 2 years. So, do we have anyone who's interested in filling the duties?
Ordinarily, Chairman, Vice Chair, in line.
This is true, and you are the vice chair. All right, then I will nominate you
Thank you.
if you're interested. Do we have a second to that nomination?
I second the nomination of that hearing, Mr. Chairman.
Gina, I couldn't tell.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Oh, because, yeah. Okay, well, let's go ahead and have I guess, should this be under action items?
It's still, you can do it right here, election of officers.
Something good. Okay. So, all in favor of Harry taking over the ship for the next 2 years? Usually it's 2. Say aye. Aye. Well, there you go. You sealed your fate.
Job.
Here you are, sir.
Give me the emblem of power.
Enjoy the emblem of power.
Now that that's done, the election of a board vice chair. For those of you that don't know, the vice chair does next to nothing out of the ordinary. They don't have any extra duties except to replace the chairman when any event they're not here. You won't get extra time, extra assignments, anything like that. Nor will you get any preferential treatment. But if anyone would like to take that position on.
I wouldn't mind throwing my hat in the ring. I will try to be there more often. I know you need to be there to kind of do that, but I'll throw my hat.
So tell me you're interested?
Good.
Then I'll nominate you. I'll
second
your
it.
nomination then.
We'll give Richard a nomination in a second.
We'll give Richard the nomination.
Any discussion?
Any discussion? He said.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Recognition of visitors. I see one visitor. Have we seen you before? I think we have.
Yes, indeed.
This is Chase, and he's gonna contribute to my report tonight.
There you go.
Any adjustments to the agenda?
Yes, sir, we're gonna pull info item A. We need, some more clarification. Some of the public meeting laws changed, and so we want more clarification over these work groups, whether they need to be, they can be my work groups, or they need to be the boards. So we'll get that clarified and we'll bring it back in August.
Awards, recognition, and correspondence.
None tonight,
We have any presentations to the board?
none tonight.
Not tonight. We're going at record speed.
I'll move that we accept the consent agenda as written.
Way to get ahead of me. Do we have a second?
Yeah.
I second.
I see on there that, I don't know where this falls in, but appointing Dole Cole or Clark Mountain Spring Monarch, it's at all. I own the building, part of the building they, work in, so I need to abstain from that whenever that comes up or wherever that is, okay?
Fine.
That actually, I just wanted, because we have a new board member, I just wanted to highlight also that I have like a ongoing conflicts disclosure on the convention, just in case anybody has any questions about that.
Okay, consent agenda, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carrying on. Time for superintendent's report.
Yeah, good evening. It's good to be with you. Welcome to the 25-26 school year. Even though it's summertime, I always like to acknowledge that we have about 100 staff who work year round. So Venice and Veronica and I are not alone in this building. We have lots of folks. It's a busy time for HR and business and IT. A lot of our administrative services are gearing up for the return of the other 200 staff members. I just wanted to, there's a lot that happens in the legislative session. This time I'm just highlighting the financial stuff. A lot of the more policy bills in the next 30 to 45 days, we'll get clarification about what that means. And so in my report, I'll start to bring some of those changes to you. There wasn't anything really significant in the education side. There is in the HR side. So Holly will probably be presenting on a couple of bills that came through. I did want to highlight that EIUCSE received 415. It was short of the, what was it, 423 that we wanted, but it's higher than where we started with the governor's budget. For us, that's about 44 million. It keeps services that we have right now continuing, which the 423 would have brought us up to adequate service level. So that will be a continuation of figuring out how to get that number back to where it needs to be. State school fund record 1.1 billion more, but just want to acknowledge all that is enough to keep the lights on a year from today. So it's there's really not a lot of additional funding. We have programs that were reduced in funding, and so we're navigating that, and through the craftiness of our wonderful staff, we are trying to break and blend what we can together, good programming for kids. I want to acknowledge a regional initiative. So we were awarded a Poor Family Foundation grant, $150,000 per year over 3 years. We had our first meeting in June, and we're talking about community schools, which is a lot of our districts are already engaged in that work, but it's really an opportunity to look at what do we do well, where are our growth areas, and how do we strengthen that. And one of those pillars is, community engagement and supports and active family engagement. And so over the next, we have several phases. So most of the districts are in, let's learn about this, let's learn where we fit in this, that sort of phase. We're going to go tour some other districts that have been doing this for a long time in very rural spaces, not in spaces that look like us. And then we have a couple of districts who have already been on this journey, and so they're at a deeper level and they're going to get some more one-on-one attention. So super excited about that. The other thing I want to acknowledge is our administrators who are engaging in service agreements. We're providing some professional learning for them through our strategic design. It became very apparent that content-wise, we're all proficient in that, but the ESC has an entrepreneurial wing where we are providing services at a cost to districts, and I really want to support my team with how we do that. And so we've engaged in some professional learning around that, and we'll do so for November, so I'll keep you posted on that. But what I really want to share is Partner Sports Camp. So Richard, this is the only camp like it west of the Mississippi. It's a camp in which students with special needs, the campers, are paired with peers, and it's a sports camp. Fishing, kickball, unfortunately not t-ball this year. We've got a complaint card about that. Swimming, it's 2 weeks of kids playing sports, and I was out at Bowman Pond yesterday for the fishing extravaganza, and I just want to say that it looks like, it feels like every camp that is happening across the United States right now. Kids are connecting, forming bonds, learning, laughing. It was actually very peaceful out there because everyone was fishing and they knew they had to be quiet, catch those fish, and except when one was caught, and then everyone was cheering and excited. So it's really an awesome experience, and Chase is a participant, and he wanted to provide a thank you to you all tonight from his perspective.
Hi, my name is Chase, and I attended my 5th year of Partner Sports. Some of the activities I took part in are fishing, kickball, basketball, soccer, swimming, disc golf, golf, crafts, sharks and minnows. I had a very fun time, and I thank all the helpers and volunteers that put in the time to make sure this happened every year. Partner Sports Camp could not happen without donors such as Douglas CSD, Rosewood Conduit, YMCA, Cascade Community Credit Union, Umbrella Health, Field of Dreams, Go Ready, and Sun Stewart, just to name a few. I would like to also thank the Board of Directors of the WCSD and the ESD staff to make this camp possible for students with special needs and disabilities.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool thing that you guys continue to provide support for. We'll get you all the stats on how many kids and pictures and all of that and how many months, but thank you, Chase, for sharing your experience with us. And it's 10 times, I think at least 80 more kids who enjoyed that experience. And we also like to report that the weather was a little bit more cooperative, that our top was 97 instead of 103. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just it's a neat experience. You guys are always welcome if you want to come volunteer. It's just one of the highlights of the year. So, and that's all I have tonight. Any questions?
Hearing no questions, we'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda. Amy Rose is supposed to present.
So she is on vacation. So there's a couple of reports you're stuck with me tonight. So Amy's report is on page 10. If you have any questions, we will take them to her and get back to you. But a lot of summer activities, really cool activities that her staff have put together. The YDD staff came in today exhausted after being out at the safari, but also just excited for the experiences kids are having. So really cool things. Peer-to-peer is another very similar to Partner Sports Camp. as students with special needs are paired with partners, and they are learning how to do jocks. And I think at least one was hired, one person was hired, so, don't quote me on that, but we'll get you stats on that back as well, so. If any questions, we'll get them to her.
No, Holly Hill today.
Yes, Holly is at a different board meeting tonight for one of the districts we serve. So again, her team is, as you can see, very busy prepping for the return of us and all the new folks.
Last, we have some minutes here to tell us the fiscal overview, and I remember reading in there saying so little activity that we're not gonna report until September.
For 25, 26, yeah. We've been busy, business office, ladies have been very busy closing out 24, 25. That typically is ongoing for a few months, actually. Although our two business managers each have one cash district and one accrual district, and those are handled differently. And so we have actually 2 audits coming up in the next few weeks for them. But our ladies are still busy paying bills and closing out 24, 25, and Tish is busy working on getting grants finalized, and so we can get those claimed. So lots of activity in the business office. It is summer is not a slow time for us. So as we move forward, starting to get some word on grants already for 25, 26, not very many, but a few acknowledgement. And so we're also prepping to start. One of the things that we're noticing with the ODE transparency piece, that their reports are getting much more advanced. Tish has actually had opportunity to be kind of a part of those new report, specifically EIECSE. It's large, it's huge, very cumbersome. So Tish has actually been helping and working in that. They kind of gave it to her and said, here, go break this. And she worked through it and gave them lots of recommendations and suggestions and things that like, this is not going to work and here's why. So they've really been listening. So that's been really cool to watch. They have seen Tish's reports in the past, and they value her input. And so that's been pretty awesome to see and watch her grow in that piece. So our budget was due to everybody this week, the 15th, and so business managers were busy making sure that the counties, that everything got processed and ODE. So 4 of us will be out next week to our OASBO, Oregon Association of School Business Officials, summer conference, and some Visions training. Visions is our accounting software. It's not really the name anymore. They call it School Pro, but that's just too clunky, so we still say Visions. So,
Where is it?
Bend.
Yeah.
Yep. So the Visions training is actually in Redmond for 2 days, and then we stay in Bend. With 4 of us going, it's actually cheaper to rent a house than it is to rent a hotel. So we have a home for a week. So the reports as given, 24, 25, winding down. Again, when I put this together, there was actually still probably 200 open POs. So has been a lot of activity since I put this report together. This report was through 6/30. So there's again been a lot of activity in the last couple of weeks for paying bills and all those things. We do have for general funds, the general fund revenue page is pretty solid in the amounts there. We don't have, a lot to add there. There will be some additional interest. Actually had discovered when I was pulling these numbers together, that the interest was not posted correctly. So there will be, a significant adjustment to that. We actually earned between our pool account and our checking account, we actually earned just over $400,000 this year in interest. So, so that, again, I was looking at this, so discovered that I have got it fixed now, and so that will be, otherwise, there won't be a lot of additional change except for the indirect rate. As we close grants and we do that, fourth quarter, piece, that's when Tish and I post indirect, so there will be some additional indirect, revenue there. Otherwise, pretty solid expenditures, nothing, substantial, or out of the norm in regards to expenditures for general fund or for our other funds. So everything looks pretty status quo there. Appropriations, we're good, so that's always a good thing. Any questions?
Next week.
Okay, we're up to informational items, and this is the board member superintendent subcommittee assignments. Alicia will tell you a little more about these assignments, but we discovered that we were required to have public announcements to our subcommittees if they were over 3 people. So we have created a system of superintendent's subcommittees of 3 people, so that we can never be accused of having a quorum meeting without announcements to the public and having to report to them.
So, Mr. Chair, we postponed this one, so that was the adjustment, is to postpone this to August.
We were postponing that for.
You can move to action.
That was the adjustment to the agenda. All good.
Okay,
Action.
we're up to page 3 now. The board superintendent working agreement. You want to take this?
Sure, so, at the beginning, every July, there's a proposed working agreement that, shares what your responsibilities are as a board member, what mine are as a superintendent, and then how the 2 of us work together to achieve the goals and vision previously.
And we go through each of these individuals or?
Yeah, you'll need a vote on A.
We'll have to go.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
one vote, a vote on A, vote on them as individual, yes.
So this is the same, we worked on this a long time, but it's the same agreement we've had for a number of years. So what we're doing is just going in, agreeing to continue our ways, or if there's any other suggestion. I would move that we accept the working agreement as written.
I will second.
I have a move in a second for this. All those who wish any further discussion? No, okay. All those in favor of the board meeting schedule as presented in the back of the
This is the superintendent working agreement.
slide? We're back on that?
Yeah, we haven't finished it.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Okay. So moved and seconded. Any discussion on that? Was where we're at.
Okay. Out of practice.
It's okay.
So all those in favor of superintendent working agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, passes.
And I don't capture your signatures before you.
Don't be without a second. Don't be like me.
Yeah, chase you down the road.
I've seen her on the road. So now we're to the board meeting schedule. no real reasons to change anything. We occasionally have something happen, one, maybe 2 years, 1 week or something. Very, very common. Any questions about that?
I'll move that we adopt the floor meeting schedule for 25-26 as written.
I second that motion.
Any further questions on that?
No.
Nope. Hearing none, we will, go for a vote on that. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none, passes unanimously. Steve, we're down to the budget calendar. Dennis, take over.
So our budget calendar, will follow the, same as we did this year, moving, where we moved it up. So this is pretty standard. For the 26-27 budget calendar, we'll have our, first meeting to schedule May 7th of 2026, where we will, hand out a proposed budget document.
Any further questions?
Motion.
Make the motion.
Meet everyone so far. I move that we adopt the budget calendar for 26-27 as proposed.
Wallpaper in the next minutes. Keep it moving, he said. Okay, I forgot where we are.
Any discussion?
Budget?
Yes.
All those in favor,
Budget
say
calendar.
aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, passes unanimously. Appoint a board member to serve as the OAESD Governance Committee member. That would have been you in the past.
So the Oregon Association of ESD, so we have a group, there's 19 ESDs in the state, and so we have an association, and we work together, and that association has a governance that includes the superintendent and a board member from each of those 19 ESDs, so I need a friend.
It's mostly an online, meeting once a month. If no one else is willing to do it, I would be happy to continue on. I know the ropes are gonna be. I'm okay with it.
I second that.
Okay. You have to vote on
Okay.
Sticky about
Designate.
Okay. Hearing no further discussion. We'll move to all those in favor of Michael being the OAESD Governance Committee member, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, passes unanimously. We will move on.
Policy.
Policy Subcommittee assignments. This is what I was trying to get past a minute ago.
So,
And Alicia, take over.
yeah, so our policy subcommittee, because you make recommendations to the board, you have to be a public body or public subcommittee. So we made this shift, March. And we took the current numbers and you can either, if Tom Gale or Mike wants to do a different committee, this is the time to say that.
Yep, I'll stay on there. I'm happy to. Your policy meetings.
Yeah, so if you want to keep the three, go ahead and make a motion. If not, then revise it and.
Tom, are you still good for policy committee?
I'm fine with that, sure, absolutely.
Sounds good. Poor Gail's not here, but I'll go ahead and nominate.
I'll step in instead of Gail, get my feet wet.
Okay.
All right.
Are you happy with that?
Sure.
Our call. Okay, so I move that we accept myself, Richard, and Tom as the policy subcommittee for 25-26.
I second that. I had a thought process for it.
Any discussion on that? Hearing no discussion, we'll go ahead with a vote. All those in favor say aye. No nays. Passes unanimously. Okay. Executive session items.
We need to,
Do we or do we not?
yes. Council
We do.
leaders, so we need to release Dennis and Chance.
Normally, when we have executive session, somebody gives me, something to.
It's right here, executive session to be held in accordance with ORS 192.6602H.
Oh.
Okay.
We need a motion to jump.
Now we just gavel ourselves on out of executive session. Executive session.
Thank you, Ken.
There you go. Back to the good of the order.
I do have one tonight. I'd like to thank Mike for his 2 years of service as our chair. I appreciated you taking my calls and your guidance and direction with the board. And so I appreciate you being someone that I can talk to and representation of the other 6 members. And all that you did over the last 2 years to guide us through some interesting times. So thank you.
My pleasure, thank you. Thank you all for your service.
Maybe blessed, not lived.
Yes. I like it.
And I want to agree with you said, Michael, been as dedicated as anybody I've ever known on this board.
Thank you.
And, always great to have them. And being my mentor in tonight's meeting.
You gotta get your sea legs back under you, that's all.
Yeah, I'm so used to just letting it all.
I know, it's nice, huh?
Okay, for the good of the order, I was in Drain last weekend for the birthday of a 1 year old great granddaughter, Scarlett.
Ooh,
Congratulations.
starting to walk.
It's interesting. Great grandparent. My 2 children don't even, have never been married or been in a relationship.
Wait till they're 2 and they would learn what word.
No. Anybody else with, announcements? So we're instructional leadership conference is on August 12th through the 11th through 12th. That's Seven Feathers Conference. If you get a chance, you ought to go down. And as I've said before, try to go during mealtime. The next meeting for the Douglas CSE will be August 21st. Same time as always, the same place as always. Douglas CSE in service will be August 28th at Seven Feathers Casino. That's another one you should try to hit. You'd be surprised how many people you'll recognize. OSB's annual convention, November 6th through 8th. We've been, this board has been a group of slackers in the last 2 or 3 years in terms of attendance. We used to have perfect attendance for a few years and just a few people go. My spouse doesn't want me to go to any overnight things.
It's very much becoming baseball.
It really is, and it's really expensive because despite my 20 years of pleas to OSBA to think about going somewhere other than Marriott, you know, because we could go to, I don't know, Wilsonville for half the price, but that's the thing, just so you know, they're gonna keep me. But I don't think it's a great.
OSB is paying for it, they like to go to Wilsonville.
Exactly correct. Districts are paying, so. Anyway.
And Veronica, are you gonna ask us if we're holiday anything?
Not yet.
Any other business?
I have an unrelated ask, which is, I have a kid on my caseload who was unschooled until late middle school. So I'm looking for anybody who's teachers who like to be hired to do individualized tutoring. because I mean not kind of in school, I mean truly,
Fully,
not literate, truly in school.
So this child
Well,
been there, done
lots of other alternative life skills.
that. Yeah, that I will think about.
If anybody, let's keep, go ahead.
So I know somebody who taught school from kindergarten, whatever, she's taught all different schools in Sutherland for like 30 years, she's now at, Melrose. Cause she couldn't handle the kids hitting her anymore in school, nothing about it, that's why she changed schools after 20 years.
So I'm not, there's funding to pay. And you can work around individuals' schedules. Like, the goal is to make this super easy. I'm just looking for somebody who could commit to like not, so it's gonna be like more than like a month. Does that make sense? It's gonna
It's
be,
more than a month.
it's gonna be like sort of a.
Do you need someone with a TSBC license to do it?
I need somebody with skills. I
Well,
need somebody who will be able to commit for a period of time.
yeah, that's,
But-
because I can, contact, but I just need a little details because she's gonna want
So we're in
I mean,
a
it
public
doesn't
meeting,
have to
and I'd be happy, like, I'm happy to connect with you afterwards.
it. Okay.
Yeah, and then give you some more details about it.
Because I can always just say, hey, this is, if you wanna, are interested, contact. you.
And I can give you my guide, and I can give you some more details.
Yeah.
But if anybody else has any leads, I would be super, super interested. That's, I figured it's.
I was just thinking with her, dealing with the new girl, that she's for at least 4 or 5 years on.
Not actually this year, not such a.
Oh,
concern, Just truly on school, like, so sometimes you occasionally get into this. The child has a lot of building skills and cooking skills, which means we would have a lot of practical math skills. But would probably not be able to articulate it in the context of a typical, like, the typical set, but those are all embedded skills. Does that make sense?
And money is a great way to teach arithmetic and fractions and everything else. I'm gonna make a motion
To escape.
that we adjourn.
Got a motion second, all those in favor say aye.
Hi,
I'll think.
Thanks for showing up, Richard.
thank you all.